Hey, welcome everybody to Shelby Exotics. I'm Ryan. We're gonna learn some stuff today. Now we went, I say we, it was just me. I met some people down at Gingerman Raceway. I'm trying to get my shoes on. So we're gonna learn some stuff today. Don't worry, I got my shoes on. Went down to Gingerman today to shake down the race car. Brought little Bertha a few sets of tires, generator. There's no such thing as like traveling light when it comes to race car stuff. Side door, we're gonna show you something. Because I ran into one problem, which I could see other people having this issue, right? So this is the race car. I've got my number stickers on now. Thank you, Corey, for that. They look great. I think we're gonna get some billet badges for this thing with the TR at the end. I don't think, I know. Billet badges, guys. They're awesome. They'll do custom badges, and then they've got just a little R emblem for the GT350 if you want to add that on, that little red R that you might have seen in one of my other videos. But back to the topic today. This video is not brought to you by 1-ethanol yet, Mitch, but we're going to talk about 1-ethanol because that's where I get my E85 corn fuel. We're buying it now in 55 gallon, and then they have 5 gallon. They've got an S racing compound and an R racing compound. And don't overdo it, guys, because I wanted to overdo it, but I ended up with the S, which is 112 octane E85, which is like an E91, E94 blend, but they put E98 and then the mixture in there, and they sell it through retail. And again, that's 1-ethanol. That's all we'll talk about that. But I like corn in my shit. A lot of people don't like corn in their shit. It can be a little abrasive, but I like corn in my shit. So this is the race car. We ran into one minor issue today, and if I can dub in the video, I will. I can dub in the video. It's just a matter of me being lazy or not. The issue that I had is that under any G's or loading up the suspension in a leftward turn, so it would be the right hand of the car, like we're looking right here, so anytime I turn left and load this side of the car, the throttle would cut. Just like, all right, traction control, the I don't know if they call it, they have a funky name for it, it's traction control. So today we're gonna learn how to bypass that. I'm sure there's a few GT350 fans that track their car that would want to know how to do that. If you know already, don't be a know-it-all until everybody fucking knows that. I didn't know that. Freaking trolls. So here we're gonna not look at me anymore. We're gonna look. Okay, so here's the car, and again, this side, anytime it would load up, it would cut. You guys might think it's limp mode. There was another guy at the track that was talking about it happening to him. Chances are it could be a wheel sensor. Now I just replaced the right rear hub, which I thought I had a wheel bearing going bad, and I did. So we replaced the hub on this side, and my guess is that there's the optic sensor in there, the wheel speed sensor, probably was not remounted correctly. So I'm going to fix that as well. But traction control, folks. How do you think we disable that? We could pull the fuse, right? No, because you're going to pull your ABS fuse. So if you look right down here, this will have this plug plugged into it right here, which goes right to this jumper, all right? Which is just a duct taped, let me turn the light on. All right, so this is a jumper here, so it's tying back into itself. You just unplug that. Boom. Instant, no traction control. So be careful. You didn't learn it here. If you did learn it here, you're on your own, legally and ethically and morally. Don't do it unless you know what you're doing, guys. Really. But the folks on the track that get limited constantly, like with a car like this, limited by traction control, you pull that jumper and you are 100% traction control free. Now your first question is, Does that affect ABS? Not to my knowledge. They're two separate systems altogether. They work together with the wheel speed sensors, which is why I think I've got something in the back going on, because there's an ABS error. But the ABS worked good. We didn't have any shimmies or shakes or dead pedal type thing on the brake side, just the throttle side. So every time I would get into the throttle, no matter how light or soft, or if I just tried to ease through a corner, it just knew that I was putting load on the right hand side. So that is how you disable traction control. Now, if you want to try it first before you just go balls out or balls deep into, or bog deep, I don't know, I guess Cletus McFarland says that, we'll just go balls deep here. You can hold the traction control, which I have moved on this car, because we got a removable wheel here. I moved my momentary switches right there. And if you hold the traction control up for 15 seconds, it will, and you have to do it for a full 15 seconds, it'll flash, you know, active traction or you know, StabiliTrak if you're Chevy. Hold that for 15 seconds, it's going to appear up here and say traction control is disabled. Me personally, I don't think it's 100% disabled, but now it is. So, get your rear view of the car. You guys haven't heard that start yet, have you? I bet we can fix that. Okay. All right, in case you want to know, Stainless Works headers, ceramic coated, and this has the resonator delete, so she's just a bit loud. And the car sits low enough and high enough, I can just open the door and get in. Pretty much what that sounds like at 4,000 RPM. Keep in mind it revs all the way to 8,250. And actually I've seen on the data logger up to 9,000 RPM, which is just silliness in my personal opinion. In a good way. Give you a brief overview on the car. Forge lines 19s. We're using racing brake carbon ceramic. I'm not sure why it says carbon ceramic because I don't have carbon ceramics. But what I do have right in there, those are cobalt friction. XR1s, those are phenom pads. This thing still just stops on a dime. It's nuts, nutty nuts. Stickers were all done by actually two companies, 180 Graphics and Icon, and I believe Icon spelled I-K-O-N, in Grand Rapids. There's my one ethanol sticker that looks crooked on here, but it's straight in real life. Racing brakes. They do have just a little bit of seepage right there. It doesn't, I don't know, it's got to be just some issue with the threads. But quick update on what's changed since the last time we've kind of gone through this car. Or maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe we just go all through it, right? Oh, we've got forge lines, the 19s, so we could keep the stock brakes on it. We didn't go with 18s. I'm a little mixed about that. I'm kind of happy that we stayed with the 19s where we're at. I like the size. I like that it's a little bit taller of a wheel. It also helps with your gearing in the back. I just think the car's just about as well balanced as it can be relative to power and gearing, at least for the tracks that I've gone to. So again, racing brakes, forge lines. I'm running right now the P0 Pirelli takeoffs from the Challenge series, and this is a 305 690 19. And I get those from I'm Not Telling You because everybody hogged my tires last year from that dude. So I can be stingy. MGW shifter. Watson Racing did the lion's share of this build on the cage and the center stack there. We've got auto blip and move the existing GT350, which if you're converting to a race car, guys, make sure that you keep these switches because the MagnaRide and stuff just doesn't work. It needs that to talk. Even if you end up putting a Sachs or Multimatic or any other DSSV dampeners, I still would keep this stuff because there's just a lot of chit-chatting back and forth that you're going to do. And that's if you're going to keep the stock ECU. If you're going to put a Holley in or a Motec or a Momo or something like that, you know, by all means, and rip it out. But you better know where all this stuff was going and what it was talking to, because it was kind of a mofo to get all these things talking so you could use the mode select, which I moved my mode select off the steering wheel to here. That's where I had them move that. And then the selection information is actually over there. And they're contoured, so I kind of wanted them hidden just so they weren't, they didn't look really out of place. Because just by the shape of them, it was really hard to locate a spot that they'd look good. And that's where we ended up putting them. This car has 3,000 miles on it, and I believe the current average is like 3.8 miles per gallon. Oil pressure gauge, I am seeing consistently above 100, and that seems to be whenever you change the oil. I don't know if it's the viscosity, quantity, or whatever, but it just seems to hold a lot better oil pressure. There's my ethanol portable tanks. Those are gas caddies. You can find those at Walmart or online, but they're called a gas caddy. And you crank these, the handle there, and you can suck material out of here and put it in there, and then pump it out of here into that. And she likes to eat corn. That's 150 mile an hour Gorilla Tape, because I'm dumb and I have to fix some body work. I backed off the ramp and I had plenty of room, and the trailer was evened out, I thought. But I ended up hitting the Capaldi splitter, and it lifted that and broke one of the clips right there. So I just taped it in an effort to make sure that it didn't vibrate or fly off going around the track. Here's the truck. We don't talk about that much because she's a tool, man. That's it. I am not a truck guy at all. It's been good though. That actually the EcoBoost hauls this whole apparatus pretty well. So we'll shut the lights off. Yeah, it was a good day. It's always a good day to learn how to take traction control off for burnouts, and you're not going to be limited anymore. You don't even realize when you're limited until you're not limited anymore. The turn-in on this car is ridiculous now. She just rotates right off the gate. And Ford's not going to tell you to turn it off because, well, they'd be liable for that. I'm not going to tell you to turn it off. I'm just saying, for me, I like it off. But you ain't got to be like me, because I could end up a greasy spot on the racetrack. But I wanted to give a special shout out, thank you to the guys at Three Balls Racing for allowing me to come out and play with them today. Gingerman Raceway in South Haven. And yeah, if you guys get a chance, check them out at Three Balls Racing. You're gonna have to Google them because I don't know if they use their, I don't know what their URL is. That's really what it boils down to. So Google them. They're in Michigan. Girls are sleeping, so we won't wake them up. Naughty girls, aren't they? We already did a video on them. Watch it. It was yesterday. I'm tired. It's time to edit a video. I got chihuahuas everywhere. Come here. Yeah, say bye. All right, like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure, subscribe. That's very important. Hit the like button for the analytics, and we'll keep you updated on what I find on the wheel speed sensor. Once I start ripping that apart, we'll take some video of that. I didn't really tell you what we updated yet because we got sidetracked. Why do we always get sidetracked? I mean, there's really cool headers on there, the stainless works that are ceramic coated all the way back past the X-pipe. That dropped like the ambient temperature. Not that it's ambient because you're forcing cooling pack air in there, but at least 60, 70 degrees. There's no heat coming off that motor anymore. So that's pretty much how that works, guys. We'll go through the Cortex suspension components and the upgrades to the car that we did on the front and rear. And also, we might be putting a Motec on it. Maybe. We can show you what that looks like. I gotta talk to Corey about that, see if he's okay with it. But we'll definitely be showing you the one on mine. He's got his converted over. And if you like data and controlling data, hyper cool. So that's all we got for today. Thank you for joining us. I sure appreciate it. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Talk to you later.